Hello again, and welcome to another one of my Adam's Corner videos. It's been a couple of weeks since we had a new release roundup, as it were, and well, a lot of discs have appeared at my doorstep for review purposes, and just wanted to talk about some of these releases. I do a monthly roundup on my podcast, which can be found on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and all those places where you normally get podcasts. You will find it. And for anybody interested, I would recommend you check it out and see what you think. And, maybe you'll find something you enjoy there. I interview a lot of people who are connected with things that are near and dear to my heart. That's the main reason for the podcast. But I also do a Blu-ray roundup and 4K physical media roundup at the end of each month, as well with a series of rotating co-hosts. And so anyway, without further ado, let's just take a look at some of these discs. These videos are done as a kind of an addendum to the podcast, so you can visually see the discs that I'm talking about. So let's get on with it, shall we? This first release is from MVD Visual, and it's called ZYZZYX Road. And this was stars Katherine Heigl. Now, this is an infamous film because it only grossed $30 at the box office. So this film's main claim to fame is that it was one of the lowest grossing films in the history of cinema. The fact that it's getting a 4K Ultra HD release is kind of surprising. A 4K restoration of the film supervised by the director, John Penny, and presented in 2160p, of course. You get commentaries, several commentaries, a featurette, archival behind-the-scenes featurette, archival interviews with the director. It's a crime thriller. An accountant finds himself questioning his sanity after he begins a passionate affair with the enigmatic woman he meets in Las Vegas and winds up killing her jealous boyfriend, Joey. Tom Sizemore, the late Tom Sizemore, is also in this. So ZYZZYX Road that has been issued by MVD Visual, and just wanted to put that out there for anybody interested. That's one of the releases we're going to talk about. Blue Christmas is a new Blu-ray release. This also is from MVD Visual. It's a hard-boiled tale crafted with humanity and humor. It's billed as Max Allan Collins, who is a well-known author, proves yet again that he is a master storyteller. This is a quote from Heath Holland, who does the Serial at Midnight podcast, or YouTube video channel, I'm sorry. It takes place in Chicago, 1942, and it's a, so it's set back in the 40s. So it's a noir film, and neo-noir. It's real short, 80 minutes, but there's a commentary track here by the writer, director, and producer and editor, Q&A highlights, and a documentary featuring Max Allan Collins, the author of this film. So anyway, and the creators of A Quiet Place are also involved in this too. So Blue Christmas is a new Blu-ray release from MVD Visual. And 88 Films is another company that they've done a lovely job restoring a lot of Asian films that are hard to find, putting them out on Blu-ray, and this next one is no exception. The Kung Fu Instructor. This is from 1979. It's a new restoration of this film. It's an HD transfer from the original negative in 2.35 to 1 aspect ratio. And it's one clan hires a kung fu master to break a stalemate. He's nobody's servant, and his loyalties can't be bought so easily. Didn't get a chance to actually watch the film. I am familiar with it, but Kung Fu Instructor is a new 88 Films release on Blu-ray for the first time, stateside. And another 88 Films release would be a Shaw Brothers production, The Kid from Kwang Tung. And so this is, like I said, another of the 88 Films releases is it has not any real extras except a trailer and stills gallery. It's has a reversible artwork. This one has more of a humor. It's more of a build, more as a comedy, action comedy, I would say. It's about a squabbling duo of friends who put their differences alongside to defeat a villain. But some of the Shaw Brothers films are quite good. We'll get to some more Shaw Brothers stuff here soon from Arrow Video, but this is a standalone release. And we also have Facets of Love, which is another 88 Films release. There you go. This is a costume drama. It tells the story of the Shanghai brothel in the early years of the 20th century, of its devious owners, of the unhappy innocents that have been tricked into toiling there, and of the entitled men who visit. Another of the 88 Films restorations. Again, no extras except a trailer and stills gallery, and some reversible artwork. But the Facets of Love is there for anybody who's interested in this 88 Films release. And so, moving off of the Asian cinema into more domestic films, we have the cult horror film Circus of Horrors, which is a film that my late father, was quite fond of, and he recommended this film to me when I was a kid growing up, because he knew I had a fondness for horror films, and so it's always been a favorite of mine. This is in 4K for the first time ever from Kino Lorber Studio Classics, and it's about a brilliant but deranged plastic surgeon wanted by the authorities, who flees to France and under an assumed name acquires by murder a rundown circus. And he does all kinds of experiments and things of that nature using his talent for plastic surgery. This has Anton Diffring is in this, Erica Rimberg, directed by Sidney Hayers, audio commentary by David Del Val, and TV spot and a theatrical trailer. That was about it. I opened it up just enough to check the quality, and it really, really looks good. A good, solid transfer on this. But Circus of Horrors, thank goodness, being issued on 4K Ultra HD, as is the home invasion thriller, The Visitors. This is only a Blu-ray release. I'm sorry, I correct myself there. Directed by Elia Kazan. I saw this a couple of years ago. Mark Maron, the host of the podcast WTF, was talking about, he was waxing rhapsodic about this film and how wonderful he thought it was. And I watched it. It has James Woods in an early performance in this. Steve Rail's back also. And it's a Vietnam veteran trying to raise his family while blocking out the past, and two of his menacing ex-army buddies show up on his doorstep. And that essentially is the plot of the film. It's real short, 88 minutes, but very tensely directed by Elia Kazan, who's better known for On the Waterfront and A Face in the Crowd, many, many other great films, and for naming names on the blacklist. We'll not get into that. But anyway, The Visitors, I'm really glad they put this out. This is a good home invasion thriller. If memory serves, I think a good chunk of it, or the setting, is the winter, the bleak winter. And I remember watching it in January when I originally saw it a couple of years ago, and it was a perfect time to watch this film. This is The Visitors. I'm really grateful that they've put it out, and the picture quality is good for a Blu-ray. I checked it to see what it looked like, and it looked good to me. Rules of Engagement is another Kino Lorber Studio Classics release, getting a 4K upgrade. This film is originally a Paramount release. They've licensed this from the Paramount Studios. There's an audio commentary here by the director, which is William Friedkin, Mr. William Friedkin, director of The French Connection and The Exorcist. This was one of his later career films. His wife was the head of Paramount Pictures, Sherry Lansing, and I think she had a part in getting him some of these later career films, and this is one of them. This is a brand new HDR Dolby Vision Master, so it looks quite good, to say the least. And you've got Ann Archer and Ben Kingsley in supporting roles, and it's about a colonel who he's on a peacekeeping mission. He finds himself facing a court-martial. And like I said, Samuel L. Jackson, Tommy Lee Jones. It's William Friedkin. He was a good, solid director. Even if this film's not going to stand up to The French Connection or Sorcerer or The Exorcist, but it's a decent late career Friedkin movie, and so it's just good to have it on 4K Ultra HD. And one more release from Kino, and this is actually one of their subsidiary labels, Cohen Media Group, and I was really glad to see this released. This is a film called Roseland from 1977. It's one of the early efforts from the team of Merchant Ivory, and it's basically three different bittersweet tales set in New York's esteemed Roseland Ballroom. And being a swing dancer myself, this appeals to me because I enjoy swing dancing on the weekends when the opportunity presents itself. And so this is a film that really kind of hits home in a personal way. But it's a really, really eloquent movie. The stories are intertwined with these different characters who go to the Roseland Ballroom. I'm just really glad they put this out. It was previously a Criterion release on DVD, but never a Blu-ray until now. You get a conversation from the quad. James Ivory and Larry Kardish discuss the making of the film, and there's a restoration trailer. So it's lovingly restored on Blu-ray, Roseland. And so there you go. We also have from Paramount, moving along to Paramount, we have White Christmas from Paramount. And this, nothing really new in terms of extras, commentary by Rosemary Clooney, White Christmas sing-along, classic holiday moments, a UNICEF documentary from 1954, backstage stories from White Christmas, Bing Crosby featurette, Danny Kaye featurette, Irving Berlin featurette, photo galleries. But the main thing here is this film has been just incredibly lovingly restored. There's been 2 Blu-ray releases of this previously, I think, and the picture upgrade on this is really spectacular. It's just about near perfect, especially for a film that's as old as it is, 1954, 70 years old, but this thing looks great. And so if you're a fan of Christmas films or just White Christmas in general, I would say you want to get your the upgrade for the 70th anniversary edition of White Christmas. There you go. From Paramount Home Entertainment. And so we will move along to some Arrow Video releases I alluded to earlier. I don't get the actual releases of their product in the cases that you would get if you bought them in the store, but I get what they call check discs. So I get to actually look at these. These are discs that I can actually play and check the quality, but I don't get all the artwork or all that stuff. But I'm grateful for what I get. So anyway, we have a Shawscope. There's a new box set of Shaw Brothers films. I was just alluding to that. And here's what you get in this new set. Shawscope, One-Armed Swordsman is one of the films. You get Return of the One-Armed Swordsman. You get Lady Hermit Intimate Confessions. I think that's 2 different films there. 14 Amazons. You get The Magic Blade and The Magic Blade Bastard Swordsman. So that's 2 films there, I believe. Sentimental Swordsman and Jade Tiger. Avenging Eagle Killer and Constable. And Buddha's Palm and Bastard Swordsman. I need to hold those up that way, I guess, where you can actually see what's going on there. And a bonus disc with some extras and goodies. It's too much of a glare there, I think. Yep. And a CD of the actual music from these films. So, quite a bit of to choose from in this new Shaw Brothers Shawscope box set from Arrow Video. So just wanted to let people know about that. And a couple of other releases. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, getting a 4K Ultra HD release. There you go. From the 80s, of course. I think 1985, I believe, was the release year. The Invasion, which is like the 4th version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. This is from like 2007, I think. And so this was with Nicole Kidman. So anyway, that's getting a 4K Ultra HD release as well. But the one that, the piece de resistance of Arrow Video's releases for the month is this little baby here. If you can see it there. Let's see if we can get it. A Simple Plan, which is a film that has been long requested by many people, many film fans like myself, directed by Sam Raimi, and we'll talk about Sam Raimi again here in just a minute because I've got another one of his films to review or talk about that's a recent 4K upgrade. A Simple Plan is a terrific adaptation of the Scott Smith novel. It's about what happens when Bill Paxton and Billy Bob Thornton, they're brothers, and they discover a plane submerged in the snow. And they discover a bunch of cash inside the plane. And it's the question is, do they keep the cash and wait to see if anybody claims it, or do they turn it in? And so, with these things, it's kind of like the treasure of the Sierra Madre. When you find money, a lot of times people just can't keep their mouth shut, and bad things happen. So anyway, a simple plan is, that it's basically a simple plan that turns, deadly with lots of twists and turns, but a terrific, terrific suspense film. I saw this in a theater in the fall of, I want to say, 1998, I believe it was, or maybe it was 99. I want to say 98, but what a great film this is, and it's so good to have this on 4K Ultra HD. The quality is, as you would expect with Arrow releases, it's always reference quality. Good stuff. So, anyway, so that covers all of the Arrow titles, and we'll get to the other Sam Raimi film I talked about, and that would be Drag Me to Hell, which was Sam Raimi's return to horror. He started his career with the Evil Dead films and transitioned into making the Spider-Man films, and but he decided in 2009 to go back to his roots, and he did a terrific job with this film. Alison Lohman plays a bank clerk who refuses a loan to a gypsy, and she finds herself cursed, and, all havoc ensues. Terrific transfer on this. Oops. I checked this out recently, and, just really, really, really solid stuff. The unrated cut and the theatrical cut, both on there. So you get to two versions of the film and all the other extras that you got on the previous special edition. There's all kinds of extensive behind-the-scenes documentary stuff. There's a new, pardon my curse, Making Drag Me to Hell, which is a new documentary. And there's, like I said, a lot of the previous extras have been retained. I don't think there's a commentary on this. I don't believe so. Just mostly director interviews, behind the scenes stuff, but making of stuff. But a really, really good film, Drag Me to Hell. I know we're just coming out of Halloween, but it's well worth your time. And last but not least, with all of these releases, let's talk about as I'm recording this one was released today, and that would be I Love Lucy, the complete series, 33 discs, ladies and gentlemen, on lovingly restored to Blu-ray. And this is a great idea for the Lucy fan in your life if you're looking for a Christmas gift. Well, you need look no further than I Love Lucy, the complete series on Blu-ray. This is a terrific set. It includes the original pilot, select original opening and closing credits, production notes, photo galleries, select My Favorite Husband radio episodes, flubs, audio commentaries, vintage sponsor spots, original broadcast versions of select episodes, colorized episodes, slideshow, the I Love Lucy, the movie, Christmas rebroadcast footage, much more. And like I said, all of that, plus the fact that it's that the series has been lovingly restored. And we've got a disc that came out there. 33 discs, as I said, so it's going to take you a while to wade through these, but it's well worth your time. I mean, I Love Lucy is a classic. It still holds up. It's really, really funny stuff. And, it's a classic television sitcom that was a trendsetter. And, it broke ground, and, it's just great to have these on Blu-ray. I had some of the seasons on DVD, but I'm just so glad to have them, grateful to have them on a Blu-ray set. So, that about wraps it up with my latest accumulation of review titles, the ones that I've received. So just wanted to run through them right quick. Again, thanks for all of you who tune into my videos and give me some feedback. I love to hear your comments. I enjoy bantering it up with fellow physical media fans and film fans. So if you feel inclined to chat, just put something in the comments section and let's go back and forth and kind of compare opinions or whatever. Until the next time, keep those discs spinning.